Hello, folks. It's Greg Gilbert, host of Python's Paradise. And we're getting to the close to the end of 1996 in review. And I got some films from November. And we're going to start off. I got a couple from November 1st. I'm surprised one of them waited till after Halloween to release it, but it's a film that nonetheless we didn't get here. But I remember the poster being up. And I saw it most recently, because for the most part, I like werewolf movies, with An American Werewolf in London and The Howling being two of my personal favorites. But this one here is called Bad Moon, with Meryl Hemingway of Star 80 fame, and she is great in this. The film stars Michael Paré, who is in Nepal, and his girlfriend is killed by a werewolf, and he, of course, is scratched or injured, which, means that he's got the curse. With every full moon, he becomes hairy. Needs to get a big razor. Anyway, Meryl Hemingway lives with her son, played by Mason Gamble of Dennis the Menace. They got a dog named Thor, and Michael Perry comes back into their life and stays in the outdoor trailer. But there's investigations about grisly murders going along, or killings by some beast, And I like it. Michael Paré goes out in the woods and he handcuffs himself to a tree, around a tree when he transforms. And you see the agony, He wants loose, but he's handcuffed because he knows he's not supposed to. The big star of this film, to me, though, is Thor the dog. Thor the dog, that's a smart dog and very heroic, because he knows what's up. And he's not afraid to clash with Werewolf Paré, Meryl Hemingway plays the sister, of course, and she's a lawyer, and she's really feisty, very resourceful in this as well. I give the film an 8 out of 10. It's not up there with the other ones, but it's still an entertaining watch, The other one that came out on November 1st was Larger Than Life, starring Bill Murray, who inherits an elephant. I remember looking forward to seeing this film when it came to theaters, and because Bill Murray's a selling point for me. Chances are Bill Murray's in a movie, I'm interested to see it. Well, Bill Murray was in this, and I wish I hadn't seen it. I like Bill Murray in something like Lost in Translation, where where he's going to be playing a serious role and with a little bit of humor. I hate it when he's part of a comedy where he's not allowed to be fucking funny. I didn't find him funny in this movie. I didn't find the film in general funny. I love elephants. Elephants are what they say, the fourth smartest animal on the planet. Certainly way too smart for this junk. I give the film, basically got a road movie, I give it a 1 out of 10. It's horrible. Then we move on to November 15th. And remember our old Kmart Plaza, our 4-screener was on its last legs, about to close so they could open up what's currently going since then, the 10-screener at the mall. We used to have Kmart Plaza with 4 screens, and I remember my mom and I saw The Mirror Has Two Faces, and it was starring Barbara Streisand and Jeff Bridges. And this was a very smart film. Of course, Barbara Streisand's a very smart filmmaker, but she's somebody that stars as somebody who's being pressured because, her sister got married, and she's being pressured about relationships. She, of course, meets Jeff Bridges, and their commonality is the fact that they see sex as something that gets in the way of relationships, where people lose the whole thing of friendship. I found that to be very clever and intelligent discussion right there. And of course, when they get married, there is that lingering urge for sex, you know. This was a very clever movie. I mean, you know where it's headed. It's very predictable. But it's got a theme behind it that you don't see addressed very, very often. So kudos to Streisand. She and Jeff Bridges are great together in this. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Also on the 15th, a film that I was really, really, really looking forward to seeing. And boy, what a disappointment it was. Just like Larger Than Life. It wasn't quite as disappointing as Larger Than Life, but boy, I grew up with the Looney Tunes. I love the Looney Tunes. I also think Who Framed Roger Rabbit was terrific, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit was also brilliantly written. I wish I could say the same about Space Jam, but Space Jam needs to be jammed into a fucking trash can. What shit? I mean, Michael Jordan is fine in it, you know, playing himself. Of course, he's got to help these Looney Tune characters defeat these cartoon goons in order to keep their planet or wherever the fuck, you know. And he's the only one that can help them. Michael Jordan's fine in it, you know, but all in all, I find that a lot of the Looney Tunes, they show up, they do their little piece, and then they disappear. And of course, Lola Bunny, or whatever they call her, of course, she's supposed to be the smart tune, but do I dare use the word sexualize when it comes to a cartoon bunny? I don't know. There was something about that kind of, it's like, you know what audience this is aimed at, you know? But, like I said, Michael Jordan was fine in it. But, I mean, you got your Bugs Bunny, you got your Wile E. Coyote, you got your Sylvester, you got all these characters, Yosemite Sam. Personally, I always preferred Roger Rabbit to Bugs Bunny because I found Roger Rabbit funnier, you know. In terms of Looney Tunes, I love Daffy Duck. I love Wile E. Coyote. You know, I like a lot of the ones that, I like Pepe Le Pew. I know there's some controversy with the Me Too movement. Fuck the Me Too movement. But I did find that Pepe Le Pew I always find fucking funny because I got a black and white cat. But I did like a lot of those characters because they would go through the pratfalls, you know. So, but Space Jam, what a disappointment, you know. It had none of the creative writing of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because Who Framed Roger Rabbit was more than just humans coexisting with cartoons. There was a whole plot in it, and, you know, a whole mystery, you know, with Bob Hoskins having to solve this crime. Space Jam was just simplistic. I got Michael Jordan in there for a celebrity name, and the end. I give Space Jam a 2.5 out of 10. Disappointed. But not as disappointing. Actually, the next film I'm going to talk about was even more disappointing than Larger Than Life, because it came out on. We got two films. We got this one coming out that came out on the 22nd of November, and I'm talking, holy shit, this was so bad. Jingle All the Way. And because it's a Christmas movie, of course, I went and saw it. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad kind of sold me. What an interesting combination. Not. You know, about this, of course, Schwarzenegger plays a dad whose son wants a Turbo Man action figure, and then you got a delivery mail carrier played by Sinbad whose son also wants it, and they compete against each other, and And of course, Phil Hartman plays a sleazy neighbor who is hitting on Schwarzenegger's wife. What a fucking piece of shit, this movie. On a personal level, the Turbo Man has this sidekick in his commercials and whatnot. And at one point, all the kids are like kicking at the sidekick, like he don't matter. It's like, fuck that. What's wrong with the sidekick? Yeah, he's not up there in the forefront like it's Turbo Man, but I was really turned off by that. It's like, so you're telling this guy, yeah, I'm sure a lot more people prefer Batman over Robin, but that doesn't mean that Robin's nothing, you know? But shit, you know, I didn't care for that, but this movie came out along the time. I remember we had the old Tickle Me Elmos out, and I remember when this happened. There was a thing in the news where the security guard was trampled and killed, I think, because these fucking asshole morons had to get a Tickle Me Elmo doll. And then this film makes light of it. All these, and then you show the footprints on the security guard and whatnot. I'm sorry, that's not funny, and neither is this film. And I can't stand this kind of consumerism going on, you know. There's stuff I've wanted in the past that I really wanted to get. I didn't have to mow over somebody to get it, you know. If I don't get it, I either order it online or I don't get it. You know, but I thought Jingle All the Way was one of the biggest pieces of shit of 1996. I give it a 0, a flat-out fucking 0. I mean, even the production was about on par as a McDonald's playset in the restaurant, you know. It's a horrible fucking movie. I think it should jingle all the way down a fucking toilet. And the last film I'm going to talk about from November 27th, another one I was really looking forward to and disappointed me, 101 Dalmatians. Boy, there was a lot of films in November that fucking disappointed me. 101 Dalmatians. I'm going to say this. Glenn Close did not disappoint me. As Cruella de Vil, she was perfect. Any complaints I make, she's not part of it. In fact, I loved Emma Stone as Cruella as well. But after, you know, Fatal Attraction, Glenn Close was born to play Cruella de Vil, and she was great. She's if you're going to see this movie for any reason, Glenn Close playing Cruella is it. But the film fucking sucks. The dogs can't talk. They could in the cartoon. So that was a bit of a turnoff, you know. But it's a good-looking film. It's about all I can say about it, but it's not good. I give that a 2.5 out of 10. I don't like going to a lot of family films because I hate sitting in movie theaters with families, but stuff like Space Jam, Jingle All the Way, and 101 Dalmatians, on the surface, they look like something I might enjoy. Boy, was I fucking wrong. So all in all, the best one of the month is A Mirror Has Two Faces, you know. And the only other one I'd recommend is Bad Moon. The worst film of the month, Jingle All the Way. My favorite of the month, you know, my favorite of the month should be Space Jam. It should be Space Jam. You know? Like I don't have Mirror Has Two Faces or Bad Moon in my home Blu-ray library. You know, 'cause I just don't. But Mirror Has Two Faces, clearly the best film of the bunch. But there was some of those ones there you would think would have been, and boy, did they fucking disappoint. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're getting to December 1996, and to end the year off, and I'll talk about some films from then. I can promise you this, the films from December are going to be better than the ones I just talked about here. So tune in as we conclude 1996 in films here on Python's Paradise.